Yo, it's your boy Bernard, aka the Scarlet Spider, and welcome to another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast, where I'll be discussing everything nerdy that has caught my eye this week. Unfortunately, I do have to start this podcast on a sad note. I have to give a rest in peace to Sid Udy, aka Sid Vicious, aka Sid Justice, aka Sycho Sid. I believe a majority of us knew him as Sycho Sid. He passed away on the 26th from cancer. He had 2 children, and if you were like me, you grew up if you were a child of the 80s and watched wrestling in the 90s, you'll know him from his runs in WCW and WWF. So yeah, he started in WCW in 89, and he was there until 91. Then he went over to the WWF, back when it was the World Wrestling Federation, and he was there for about a year. Then he went to WCW. He went back to WCW in 93. Then he went the independent route with the USWA from 94 to 96. Then he did a second return to WWF from 95 to 97. Then he went a indie route again. He did ECW from 98 to 99. Then he did his second return at WCW from 99 to 2000, where he basically stayed until he had his first retirement. And a little bit after that, he came over to he went back to WWE for a bit, and then he had his last match in Ottawa, Ontario, for Great North Wrestling. But yeah, he specifically had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So yeah, we definitely have to give a rest in peace to Sid Vicious. Hopefully he will be inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame soon. We'll find out hopefully next year. So this is a little bit of Deadpool and Wolverine news, but it's not really news per se. It's just Ryan Reynolds wanting to give people their flowers. And I said this when The Fall Guy came out, and Ryan Reynolds agreed with me. So he said he wants, there to be an Oscar category for stunts someday. So he said so many films smashed it this year. Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd, and Charlie Chaplin were stunt performers as well as filmmakers, telling stories with their entire bodies. People who work behind the scenes deserve their flowers as well. And I agree with them. So that was one of the things I liked about The Fall Guy. It was literally a love letter to stunt performers. But, none of y'all watched it, so there's that. But you can watch it on Peacock now. The extended cuts on there, or buy the Blu-ray. Amandla Stenberg spoke out on the cancellation of The Acolyte. She made a post on her Instagram stories. That was about 8 minutes long, so I'm going to play it for you guys. You can fast forward through it if you want to. But more or less the gist of it was, she was talking about how she knew it was doomed as soon as the first trailer dropped because of the extreme vitriol from Star Wars fans. And I'm just going to paraphrase a little bit of what she said, but like I said, I'm going to play the whole 8-minute clip. She said, "There's been a rampage of vitriol that we have faced since the show was ever announced. A rampage of, I would say, hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol, prejudice, hatred, and hateful language among us." And she said, "It's been an incredible honor and a dream to be in this universe. And the audience who did watch the show, we are deeply loved and appreciated. But it made this job all worthwhile to me." And like I said, this show did get a lot of hate before it even premiered. And sometimes when I'm bored, I just look at these stories before I add them to my notes. And I just look at the comments. And I just go back and forth with people. And some guys like, well, it didn't receive hate. I'm like, were you living under a rock when the first trailer debuted? You can go look at the comments, and they're very hateful. So it's just what are you talking about? It didn't receive any hate. It's come on, man. Take off your blinders. Because it received hate. And why are you just denying it? Denial is not just a river in Egypt for this guy. But here is what she said.
Okay. Hello. I thought I would get on here and just speak candidly. I hate doing this, but I'm gonna do it. I don't use social media very much anymore, and I'm so happy about that. But there are many folks out there that I want to acknowledge and I want to show appreciation and love and support for. So that's why I'm hopping on here to talk about this, which is that our Star Wars show has been canceled. And I'm gonna be transparent and say that it's not a huge shock for me. Of course, I live in the bubble of my own reality, but for those who aren't aware, there has been a rampage of vitriol that we have faced since the show was even announced, when it was still just a concept, when no one had even seen it. And that's when we started experiencing a rampage of, I would say, hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol, prejudice, hatred, and hateful language towards us. And this really affected me when I first got the job, because it's just not something, even though I anticipated it happening, it's not something you can fully understand what it feels like until it's happening to you. However, I feel like I've kind of moved through those feelings in various ways, including being vocal about it myself. For me, it just became a situation where there was no option but for me to honor my sense of ethics and my belief system and my value system while being in this very unique position. It was kind of like I had this very unique experience of experiencing the world at large, which is, of course, hyper divisive right now, through the lens of this very, very unique opportunity of being in Star Wars. And it brought up a lot for me, a lot socio-political dynamics, a lot about my own value system, how I respond to that kind of hatred, how I move through the world at large. And it just became inarguable for me at a certain point that in order to continue to be myself, I would have to honor my value system by being vocal, even within the context of working for Disney and working within the large, massive IP that is Star Wars. On that topic, I just have to say it has been an incredible honor and dream for me to be in this universe. It still feels, even though, of course, I'm very sad about the show being canceled, and I'm sad about us not being able to give people who are invested into it more, because I'll just feel a lot of levity and joy around the fact that I got to experience it, and that people loved it, and that people were so responsive. I poured through a lot of different iterations of fan art and ship art and fan theories and things that were just so beautiful and filled my heart with joy. And I just want to let those people know out there who supported us in that way, and supported us vocally, despite and in the face of all of the vitriol that we received and the kind of the targeted attack, I would say, we received by the alt-right. Just that you were deeply loved and appreciated, and it made this job all the worthwhile for me, and it made all of the challenging elements of it completely worthwhile for me. And so that plus my love of sci-fi and fantasy, and being able to be a part of the legacy of something that I so deeply value, and something that means so much to me and I've looked up to for so long. So I also just want to say thank you to Lucasfilm for just being a fucking awesome team. They were so wonderful to work with, and just everybody that I worked with in Lucasfilm, particularly Rain Roberts, my producer, was just had such like vision and hope and like such a mission for what we were going to continue bringing into the sci-fi universe and into the Star Wars universe. And it was a really beautiful, energizing, life-changing experience to be a part of. And I have to thank Leslie Headland, who I just fucking love that bitch. She just, excuse my French, she's just one of the best people in the world. I think she's so incredibly talented and unique and kind. And I'll love her forever. And I love this experience with her forever. But at the end of the day, I also just want to thank everybody who watched it. Thank you for being so loving and supportive and excited and nerdy and awesome. And I'll continue to process this for a long time. But maybe the last thing I want to say on the subject is that we all exist in the context of all in which we live. But I'm serious. It's not lost on me how the way that these events have unfolded is also due to the hyper-divisiveness of the time that we live in, that is driven, I would say at this point, by echo chambers of thought and algorithms that reinforce our biases. And I think that applies to everybody. But I think that in a particular sect of people, it manifests as a lot of fear for what is changing and a lot of hatred for anything that is other. And I would challenge us all, and challenge myself, to continue questioning what it is that I digest, and think critically about what shapes it. And let's vote, y'all. Let's vote. Let's vote. I think that's all I have to say. Wow, this is 10 minutes long. We'll see if I post this. Bye.
So, the trailer for Sonic 3 finally dropped, and ooh, it looks so good. I really want one of those shadow stand-ins that they use as a prop for the film. Keanu Reeves is doing his Keanu Reeves voice. I mean, I would appreciate it if we had like people who actually worked in voice acting who could get a role to do, you know, stuff like this. Like, the only person who's an actual voice actor in this entire franchise is Colleen O'Shaughnessy, and she provided the voice of Tails on Sonic Adventure games, I want to say. I think she's still doing the voice of Sonic in the games. I mean, of Tails in the Sonic games. But yeah, Keanu Reeves is just doing Keanu Reeves. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I wanted him to like Shadow has like a Batman gravitas to his voice. I might try to put in a clip from one of the games here.
Whew. So far, so good. Hey, that's...
That blue hedgehog again, of all places.
I found you, faker.
Faker? I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Huh. You're not even good enough to be
I'll
my
make you eat those words.
There's no time to play games. You won't even get the chance.
I'll probably put in the clip from Sonic Adventure 2 when Sonic and Shadow first meet. Fake. You're the fake. Pretender. But yeah, I mean, it looks good. Knuckles is getting his ass whooped. A lot of people are really on the fence of saying, hey, maybe Amy Rose is in this movie, because there's a lot of people who have in this movie who have been cast and they're not in the trailer at all. So let's actually go to the cast real quick. Sophia Pernis, Cristo Fernandez. Oh, I know this guy. He was on what show did I watch? He was on. No, yeah, he was he's a bartender in No Way Home. James Wolk and Jorma Tacone have all been cast in this film, but their roles are undisclosed. So 3 dudes and 1 woman. I'm thinking Amy Rose or Rouge the Bat, Big the Cat, Ed. I can't remember the name of the robot from Sonic Adventure. Whatever the robot is from Sonic Adventure, and maybe crap. I don't know. But damn it. At first, I thought maybe Kirsten Ritter was providing a voice, but she's actually a part of the live action cast. She's playing director Rockwell. But yeah, so December needs to hurry up and get here, because that is December 20th. And I will definitely be buying the steelbook of that when that one comes out. Speaking of movies coming out, Jurassic World is continuing its franchise with looks like a new trilogy. So I think I told you guys a few weeks ago that Scarlett Johansson has joined the cast of this film, and it's Gareth Edwards who directed. Didn't he direct Godzilla? I know he directed Rogue One. Yes, he did. He directed Godzilla and The Creator. So yeah, this film will be titled Jurassic World: Rebirth, and it will be out in theaters July 2nd, 2025. It stars Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, Rupert Friend, and Mahershala Ali. I don't think they gave any specific details on the plot per se, besides like the dinosaurs are dying out. Yeah, it says five years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion, the planet's ecology has proven largely inhospitable to dinosaurs. Those remaining exist in an isolated equatorial environments with climates resembling the ones in which they thrived. However, the 3 most colossal creatures within the tropical biosphere hold the key to a drug that will bring miraculous life-saving benefits to humankind. Great, so that means rich white people gonna come and try to steal the dinosaurs' DNA. Alright, this was a small story that I wanted to bring up, but it's kind of a moot point now. But this is what happens when you buy games for early access sometimes. So Star Wars Outlaws came out this Friday, which was August 30th. And if you bought the collector's, the digital deluxe edition for $110, your game was buggy as hell. Because most games, when they come out, the day of release, there is a day 1 patch. So Ubisoft has asked a bunch of Star Wars Outlaws PS5 players to install an update and restart their save file from scratch due to game-breaking bugs. Here's the email they said. To best experience the Outer Rim, we rolled out a maintenance to make sure everyone is playing the latest version of the game. One of the players affected who had access to an older version of the game, as one of the players who was affected, who had an older version of the game, we are aware that you might be encountering some issues after this recent patch. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. To solve this issue, please make sure you are playing version 1.000.002. Here's how to check your version. Go from title, select options, go to information on the version line, locate the version number. Once you've confirmed to have the latest version, please start a new save to fully enjoy Star Wars Outlaws as our team intended. If you continue on a prior save, you will unfortunately face issues with end progression blockers. I'm sorry, if I paid $110 and I'm like, 3-4 days early into the game, and I'm like, let's say roughly maybe 50% done with the game, and now you're telling me I gotta start over? It's like, nah. See, This is another reason why it's still good to go physical. Yeah, you won't get to play it a few days in advance, but you also won't have to start over, because when you install the game, you're gonna have that day one patch. It's like, I'm over it. All right. It looks like this is my final update for Superman and Lois. So they have decided to swap dates for the final season. So Superman and Lois will be swapping nights with some unscripted TV series called The Wranglers. It's also rumored that this is in response to ABC creating an 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. game show block on Mondays. So basically now Superman and Lois is going to air on Mondays instead of Thursdays. But it also got bumped up a week. So Superman and Lois was supposed to debut on October 17th. But now we'll have a 2-hour premiere on October 7th. And apparently Thursday, October 3rd is going to be a live action version of Scrabble and Trivial Pursuit. It's like, why? But whatever. So there's that. So I get Superman and Lois a week earlier with a 2-hour premiere. And then after that, it's just regular time, Mondays, 8 a.m. The CW is dead, people. All right, I'm going to take a break. Y'all listen to this ad for Dubby. Sit back, relax, and order some Dubby. I got some coming this coming Tuesday. What flavor did I order? I don't remember. My phone's in my room, but here's the ad. This episode is brought to you by Dubby. Dubby gives you focus and energy without the crash and jitters. It has no sugar, fillers, or artificial dyes. Mix 1 packet or scoop into 8 or 12 ounces of water. Stir or shake well. Some powderiness is normal, and it has all the important vitamins. So this has vitamin C, B3, B6, and B12. And it's made from coffee fruit extract. So drink it and go conquer a task. And go to dubby.gg and use my promo code angryblerd10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. That's dubby.gg with promo code angryblerd10. All right, I am back. Let's get into my next story. And that's about the Penguin. So for those of you who was hoping that Robert Pattinson would show up in the Penguin, guess what? He's not. So he actually confirmed that Matt Reeves actually confirmed that there will not be a Batman cameo. And Lauren LaFranc, who is the showrunner for the Penguin, said to me, I think it packs a different punch. Matt's films are through the lens of Batman, so you're high up, you're looking down on the city. It's a different perspective. With Oz, you're in the city streets, you're in the grit and the muck and the grind. He's looking up, wanting to claw his way to the top. So it's a different experience. I think Gotham is an interesting enough city that it deserves to have more doors unlocked within it, and for us to walk through those and see what we think. I don't feel like it's missing something fundamental. And Matt Reeves also said, I feel like it's an extension of what was fundamentally there. We know this is in the world of Batman. You're going down a different alley, so the specter of Batman is always there. The specter of the Riddler is always there. The specter of everything that happens in the last movie is there. It informs us, and it's exactly where we begin. Yeah, so I have no problem with the lack of Batman in this show. So it's just like, I wonder, like, if that's also going to stop people from watching it, honestly. I really hope that's not the case. But you know how people are, like, I want my Batman. And there's no Batman in this, so how dare they try to, like, have us watch this, because it might tie into the next movie. So just chill out and watch it. That's all I can say. Don't forget that the Batman actually starts airing on Max at the end of this month on September 20th. All right, so as we await season 3 of Invincible, we got some news on the live action movie with an update from the Invincible creator Robert Kirkman himself. So he was at SDCC and he spoke to the director during a roundtable interview, and he said that it's still in development. And he said the movie absolutely has to absolutely be perfect. He said still in development. We're still working with Universal. You know, the show is going so well. I think the movie absolutely has to be perfect. So it's taking a lot of time. It's like getting pieces aligned and everything. It's like getting pieces aligned and getting everything to work so we can come out and make it as good as it possibly can be. So it's been in development for a long time, and it's probably going to be in development a little while longer. He talked about how the movie has to provide a different experience while holding true to the franchise. He said just because in relation to the show, it has to provide a different experience, it still has to be true to Invincible in some interesting ways, but it also has to be its own thing. It has to stand on its own. And so that's something we're spending a lot of time crafting. But I think when it really happens, it's going to be really cool. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't really know if I need a live action Invincible. Just keep doing the animated show and, you know, don't split it up into, 6-month breaks. It would be nice to see a live action Invincible, I'm not going to lie. But who knows if that's ever going to happen. Because I think they said that Universal was going to be working on that like 6-7 years ago. Like, it was like right around the time the comic ended. I don't know. But something I am looking forward to coming back to theaters. Back to the Future Part 2 will be re-released in theaters this October for the film's 31st anniversary. And that will be on October 19th and the 21st. Why not the 20th? I don't know. But I do plan on going to see this for the 35th anniversary because I went. Was it the 30th anniversary? I saw the first one in theaters. I can't remember, but it was like 2016, 2017 or something like that. They brought the first one back to theaters, and that was obviously my first time watching Back to the Future on a big screen since the movie came out when I was like 5 months old. So yeah, I will definitely be watching this in theaters because I don't know if y'all know, I'm a Back to the Future fan. Y'all don't see them 2 DeLoreans right there? And there's like 5 more in storage. But I do know one thing that needs to be answered. And it's not necessarily on the fault of the writers, but it's on the fault of all these tech companies out there. Where's my hoverboard? That's what I want to know. Where is my hoverboard? My true hoverboard. I don't need no crap, no wheels. I just need a board that looks like a skateboard that doesn't have any wheels. It has like little magnetic beams on magnetic circles on the top to hover it off the ground. So I need my hoverboard. Where is it? I want it. Okay, I will kill a bunch of kittens for it, like Channing Tatum said to do this Gambit movie. But I want my hoverboard. Is that too much to ask for? No, it's not. So Vince McMahon is back in the hot seat. They're doing a documentary. Well, Netflix is doing a documentary on him titled Mr. McMahon. So this is a documentary series chronicling the rise and fall of Vince McMahon. It's coming to Netflix on September 26th. From Chris Smith, who is the executive producer of Tiger King, and Bill Simmons, who is the he owns the Ringer podcast network. So this will include interviews with McMahon prior to his resignation, his family, and some of the most iconic names in wrestling history, as well as journalists who uncovered McMahon's allegations. So I had no intention of getting Netflix until January of next year when Monday Night Raw goes there, but I might have to get it just for this, or I might just have to borrow somebody's Netflix info, because I definitely want to check this out. I think I'm done with all my stories, so I am going to hit the spoiler alert, people. And the first thing I am going to talk about is the season finale of Orphan Black, season 1, episode 7. I'm not episode 7. Episode 10. We Will Come Again. So this episode was directed by John Fawcett, written by Anna Fisco, John Fawcett, and Graham Mason. All right. So basically, after Charlie was kidnapped and Lucy is left with the difficult choice, Kira and Eleanor finally uncover the connection between the 12 identifiable files and Daros's bigger plan, and it may be too late to stop him. So, hell of a season finale. I was just like, oh my goodness. So we find out that the 12 files were people who died over the years, and actually Daros did clone these 12 people, and basically is using them to kind of create a better future. Lucas, man, I'm still mad that he told his girlfriend everything in the last episode, because she decided to come to Kira and was like, cloning's illegal, right? So I need you to clone my dad, or I'm going to tell everybody what you did. And I'm like, it be your own people, man. It be your own people. So we actually find out, what's his name? Tom kidnapped Charlie. So Jack and Lucy try to track down Charlie and Tom, and he actually wants Jules. So Jules actually sneaks behind and tails them and gives herself up so Charlie can get saved. And Daros is finally uncovering his secret plan to Jules, while Lucy and everyone breaks into Daros's foundation to get the truth about what he's doing. And once they find Lucy and save her, they try to escape, but Daros confronts Lucy with a choice: join him or something bad's gonna happen. Jules and Lucy tell him, go kill him, go fuck himself, and Daros kills Jules, just to find out that he cloned Jules again. And so it's just like, that's how we end this episode. It's just like, good grief, man. But yeah, man, y'all can check out Orphan Black Echoes. It is on Paramount Plus, not Paramount Plus, AMC Plus. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the final 6 episodes of season 1 of Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which airs on Paramount Plus. So once again, every turtle has a standalone episode. Actually, April and Splinter also have an episode. So the turtles don't really reunite until like the actual last episode of the season. But I can tell you right now, episode 8 had me cracking up. Mikey Takes Charge, with Mikey and Genghis going to a bodega to go get some supplies during the flood. And Lee the Eel shows up, and it was just hilarious. But honestly, like I said before, I was very, very hesitant into this franchise just because of the animation style and whatnot. But it seems like the animation works a whole lot better with 2D as opposed to the 1.5 D art that they use for the movie. But this was a very good season, and I really hope we get more of it. It might happen after the second movie, but hey, as long as we get more of it, I'm good. So y'all, please watch this show on Paramount Plus, Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And ever since Mutant Mayhem came out, my turtle itch has been, I've been fiending for more turtles. So I'm actually going back now on Paramount Plus, and I am watching the 2003 series that I started and I never finished. So I'm on like episode 10 of that. So yeah. All right, let's get into the last disappointing review, and that would be for the 2024 remake of The Crow, which was directed by Rupert Sanders. He directed the Snow White and the Huntsman movie, and it was written by Zach Balan. Let me see what this guy has written that I possibly liked. Okay, he wrote on Creed 3. That's all I got, because I didn't watch King Richard, I didn't watch Gran Turismo, I didn't watch Bob Marley, One Love, and I don't even know what the order is. Some movie with Jude Law that's on Prime right now because it came out yesterday on the 30th. But yeah, so same synopsis as the first one, but slightly different. A man and his girlfriend are killed. We don't know what the time frame is as far as how long Eric and Shelly knew each other, because they met in rehab. Like, the movie is like, this movie made some weird choices. There's like the beginning, like Eric is trying to save a horse that's wrapped up in barbed wire. Then we meet him as an adult and he's in rehab, and Shelly receives like a video message from her friend that incriminates this old dude who is possessed by a demon and is making people kill themselves. And Shelly ends up getting arrested because like one of the guys, his name's Vincent Rogue, by the way, one of Rogue's guys is tracking her down, and she bumps into the cops and like a bunch of pills and stuff fall out of her purse, and then she ends up going to rehab, and that's how Eric and Shelly meet. Shelly's friend gets killed, and we find out that the guy made a pact with the devil to send innocent souls to hell in exchange for eternal life. And it was just like, there were some choices in this movie that I did like. Like, I liked seeing how Eric's regeneration worked. I mean, it's nice to see an updated version of that as opposed to like the when Eric got his hand shot through, and you can obviously tell that it was a mannequin hand in the original version, and they just like kind of like reversed it and it just like closed back up. But he was like regenerating on like some Deadpool stuff, and I did like seeing like the purgatory of it all. But all in all, like, you didn't have to add this like extra supernatural element of this guy making a deal with the devil, then trying to kill Eric to get his power. And even then, that's the thing, he had to kill Eric to get his power. Like, the whole mythos of the crow is basically Eric's tether to the world between the living and the dead. So there was like no crow vision in this movie. Like, he didn't actually put on like the face paint and everything until like maybe like the last 30 minutes of the movie. And Eric made a deal for Shelly's soul because Rogue like whispered whatever demonic crap in his ear and had her kill somebody, so she was no longer a pure soul. So when Eric finally killed Rogue, he was able to bring Shelly back to the night of their death. So we got a time travel element into this. But Eric died and Shelly lived, and I was just like, okay. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it a 4. 4 for effort. Like I said, there were a few things about it I liked, but like I said, when this trailer got announced, some movies just don't need to be touched, and The Crow is one of those movies, because obviously nobody was going to see this because The Crow is such a cult classic and a fan favorite. Like, this movie had a budget of $50 million, which is like on the cheap end. It only made $11 million, so I say this might have another week or so in theaters before it gets pulled, just like Borderlands. So yeah, there's that. Alright guys, this is your boy Bernard, aka the Scarlet Spider, and that was another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. I don't think there's any other movies coming out that I need to review for this week. Let's double check real quick and go to Rotten Tomatoes. Because in 2 weeks I have to review Beetlejuice. Or did Beetlejuice already come out? No, Beetlejuice is what, the 7th? They re-released Everything Everywhere All at Once. Show me movies that are coming soon. So yeah, Beetlejuice is the 6th. So that will be reviewed in 2 weeks. Other than that, there's nothing coming out in September. I might review The Killer's Game. That's Batista's action movie where he puts a hit out on himself because he thinks he's dying, but then he's not. But I don't know. Anyway, guys, I will see y'all next week. Okay? Be easy. Peace.